We return to the road that leads us straight back to Thanos. Is this movie worth seeing on that road? I definitely think so.
Yeah.
Welcome to Durbania. I'm Durbin.
I'm the Cholo Nerd.
Give this dude a thank you in the comments. He's losing his voice.
Yes.
And yet he's still sitting here in front of this camera. Thus is his dedication to talking Marvel on Durbania.
I was not going to miss it today. I was like, I don't care if I can't talk. I will sign language this bad boy. I don't care. But no, I was so pumped up about Captain Marvel.
Yes. So. It's funny because I was excited for Captain Marvel, but most of my excitement is all for Endgame, and I just wanted to get the puzzle piece that leads me closer to Endgame. And I enjoyed this movie, though, for what it was.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give it a B+. What's your grade?
I'll give it a B. I liked it better than Ant-Man and the Wasp, though.
Yes. Actually, I think I agree with you. I didn't make that comparison, but I think now as you said it, and I'm thinking about it, that just rings true inside. I started watching it in chronological order, so the night you and I went and saw this movie, I watched Captain America, which is first, then this would be second, followed by Iron Man. So it's actually kind of cool to see Captain America right before going into this, and then having the Tesseract in this, and kind of being able to make some connections. So there was a lot of fun in watching it that way. I thought it was funny, good story, and a good, good action.
Yeah.
How about you?
I enjoyed the action, the story, like you said, the story was great. It was a solid storyline. The way I look at it, it's not a bad start for Brie Larson as Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
All these characters, the first movie, they're kind of working out their kinks. And
yes.
The character development gets better and better as the movies go on.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a bad spot to start at right now. So I'm excited because, her role in Endgame is going to be even stronger.
Oh, it is. Well, because like you said, in all the origin movies, it's kind of like finding their footing, finding these characters. But I think something that really helped as soon as they jumped into the first Avengers movie and all played off of each other. Because you could feel a change from that first Avengers movie onward, like a comfort level that just sort of picked up with these characters in this universe. So it will be cool to see how her interacting with the rest of the Avengers fleshes her character out a little bit more. So Brie Larson I thought she was very good in this role, but there were definitely some places where she fell kind of flat for me. I thought she was strongest in one-on-one scenes with Samuel L. Jackson. I loved her relationship with Nick Fury. I loved that one-on-one, and it kind of felt like a 90s buddy cop movie.
It totally did.
Oh, yeah. So, I loved their whole relationship and their dialogue, but to me, there was something kind of flat between her and Jude Law to the point that at the very end of this movie where she, Jude Law's trying to goad her into fighting without her powers, so she just blows him away with her powers.
Yeah.
And this is, I have nothing to prove to you. It just didn't have that epic finale feeling to me, because I just felt like there was something kind of lacking there. And so I felt like a few key moments like that were kind of flat to me.
Yeah. She is one of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it makes sense that the ending wouldn't be as strong because, let's be real, her powers, Jude Law's powers, totally different.
That is very true.
That is I don't have to fight your way,
Though it was a cool scene where she's talking to the Supreme Intelligence. Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
And so she's talking to the Supreme Intelligence, and it's trying to make her believe that she's nothing without them and that they gave her the powers and they could take it away.
Yeah.
But then she pulls that thing off her neck and wakes up to her full potential. Not only was that really epic, but I loved her face when she's on that ship and she's using her powers for the first time in their fullness, and she's flying over here and beats up that guy, and that just, I don't know, she had that smile.
Someone and goes flying, she doesn't even know how to control herself.
Yes, but she was having fun with that. So there were scenes like that to me where her character was amazing, and I thought Brie Larson was amazing. And then just a few key places, like that last line she had with Jude Law, that I was like, it wasn't bad, but there could have just been a bit more punch.
Yeah.
But it also might be unfair because I'm comparing it to, other Marvel heroes in the MCU.
What I liked about it wasn't like she was this tough girl, talk trash,
right.
She was the nice girl.
Yeah.
With lots of power. And she was trying to figure out what her life story was, all this other stuff. But I like that they didn't make her this tough girl in the sense of you know, like, I'm better than you. And,
Yeah.
you know, like, she doesn't call people, like, pipsqueak or anything like that randomly. Like, you can tell she's, like, a nice character that people, they're, like, especially young kids are going to, like, chase after. Like Captain America, you know?
Yeah.
You could tell he's genuinely a nice guy. You could tell that about Captain Marvel. She's genuinely a nice girl. Or woman, let's not get offended here.
It was cool to see Coulson back.
Yes.
And it was funny that he's the rookie and the new guy, and that's why he likes Fury, because he hasn't got to know him that well yet. But I wish his role was slightly bigger.
Me too.
Yeah.
I didn't like the CGI on his face, or maybe it wasn't. It just looked like he wore a lot of makeup.
Yeah, and I agree with that.
So thrilled to see Coulson
Yes.
back. And I was hoping they would make a reference to his Captain America trading cards,
That
but they
would've been
didn't.
great.
Oh man, that would have been great.
Oh
like
my
if
gosh.
you see him like just putting him in his like coat pocket or
That
something.
would have been so cool. Yeah. So few missed opportunities there, but all the scenes Coulson was in, same old Coulson that we know and love, and that's what made it so great, and that's what made me want to see more Coulson. But then Nick Fury was fantastic in this movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. And
You
his
mean Fury?
Fury, that's right.
No. Are you a Skrull?
No, I'm not a Skrull. I am not a Skrull. But it was amazing because, like you said, Coulson looked like he was wearing makeup or something, and it was kind of distracting. But Fury looked great.
Yeah.
He looked like he was that age.
It looked real, yeah.
It looked good. Like, no part of it annoyed me, and his character was fantastic.
Yeah.
He had such a great charisma and energy and a great relationship with Carol Danvers, and so that was really cool the way they incorporated him in there.
He was such a happy guy at that point in his life. What happened from that point to like when he shows up in Tony Stark's place? Like, what happened in between there?
I know!
Like, all like tough and closed off because, yeah, that was a singing Samuel L. Jackson right there.
I know,
well,
he was happy.
Fury, but I don't know what happened. Maybe they'll explain more about that, but
yeah, but it was cool to see that phase of his life and see him be like that and energetic and, like you said, singing and stuff. Like, he was a very cool way to get to know him.
My favorite reference is him keep hurting his eye. And it's like, you're waiting for it to happen because you're like, okay, he's going to lose his eye.
He gets in that car wreck in the beginning and the eye's all bloody, but it's still there.
And then the Flurkin cat scratched him in the eye. And that's how he loses it. And then once that happened in the movie, the first thing that popped into my head was, the last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye. So I was like,
oh my gosh. And it's amazing. Because he had a relationship with this cat, with Goose, the whole way through. A special relationship. So he trusted the cat. Found out it was a Flurkin. And through all of that adventure, all of that epic fighting, he just is holding up the cat at the end and it scratches his eye.
My favorite part, too, one of my favorite parts was when they're scanning their species and it's all Flurkin, you know, extremely dangerous. They scan a male, human, not even a threat or a zero threat or whatever.
That was really great. So definitely one of my favorite things in this was Samuel L. Jackson. I loved what he brought to the screen. What did you think of Jude Law's character?
I thought it was interesting. I assumed he was going to be a bad guy because the way they showed him in the movie is like, oh, he totally looks bad guy. And he plays good bad guys.
He does play a good bad guy. He just had that look in the trailer.
Yeah.
My wife is the one who really called it and like from the beginning was saying, he is a bad guy. And I was like, hopefully, but I don't know.
And then I was thinking maybe he's Marvel. And then I was like, no, he can't be Marvel. I was like, he's just got to be a bad guy somewhere, some way.
Yeah.
I'm glad they showed Ronan in it.
Yes.
And I was wondering too, I was like, so is he going to lose like twice? And then it makes sense, he just backed up. He's like, we're out of here, you know.
The one line that kind of leaves things wanting is the fact that when the Kree are flying away from Earth, after she flies into space, uses her power, and blows up those ships, which was just incredible.
Yeah.
And then she looks, you know, right there at Ronan and does the thing with her hands, and it goes boom.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, we're leaving. And then he's like, but we will come back for the weapon. Her. And that, like, is cool because it feels like it's opening into a Captain Marvel franchise. So maybe they could do more prequels as she's trying to get the scroll and help them find their, you know, a planet or a home. Because we know where his story ends, and it does not end with an ultimate defeat from Captain Marvel. It ends you know, in a dance-off to save the universe. So it's like, so we know exactly where he ends, and so it's like, okay. So unless we do, like, a prequel series with Captain Marvel of her just going through space looking for a home for the Kree, then we really won't get to see Ronan trying to track her down.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'd be curious to see that. I'd be interested to see what adventures befell her in trying to get the Skrull to a new home.
I'd be curious who, like, her next standalone movie, like, who the villain would be.
Yeah. And would the standalone movie be an Endgame sequel or an MCU prequel going back in time to show her in space?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, so that's, I didn't even think about that till just now as we're recording, so now I feel kind of smart.
And where's she been this whole time? And why is Fury just calling her now?
Well, yeah, I would have called in the first alien invasion, but he did have the Avengers team, so it kind of makes sense. Thanos, you know, kills half the world. That's the point where it's for sure, yeah, let's give her a call.
Yeah, but it seems like, oh boy, you're a little late on that phone call, you know.
Which led to a really great post-credit scene.
Yeah.
Which was
cool. The post-credit scene was awesome.
Yes. Them just staring at the beeper. I hope in the movie we see how they find the beeper, though. I was curious about that in the post-credit scene.
And that's what I wondered, too, is like, where did they get a hold of the beeper at?
Yeah.
Because I kind of saw on Reddit where they talked about the post-credit scene, and they just showed a couple clips, pictures. And that was the first question I had. Well, if this is a real legit end-credit scene, how did they get a hold of it? They're in Wakanda at that point. When this happens, he looks like he's in D.C. or New York.
Yeah, I'll be very curious to get those little gaps filled in.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Skrull being the good guys?
I thought it was hilarious. The Skrulls were the best part of the movie.
They really were, weren't they?
They're like all sassy and kind of like how Drax is. He doesn't get a whole lot of sarcasm. It goes over your head.
Yep. No, it doesn't go over his head. His reflexes are too quick. He will catch it.
Too quick.
Right.
But,
so nothing goes over his head.
Well, they went over the Skrull's head, and what was he? You're my scientist, and he like rips the scientist, and oh, it was great.
Oh, these coordinates mean it's in orbit. Orbit. You're my scientist. Like, that was such a brilliant scene. But for me, like, I didn't grow up reading Marvel at all, so the Skrull got introduced to me in the Avengers animated series Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And so they were bad, period. They were bad news. You know, secret wars, that kind of thing. They are bad. And so that's what I was expecting out of this, is that this was, and I was hoping they wouldn't do the sequel wars where, like, Captain America's been a Skrull this whole time or something stupid.
Right.
And I'm very happy that did not happen.
Well, we haven't seen Endgame yet.
Do not do that to me. I will not accept that any of my Avengers have been Skrulls this entire time. I refuse to accept that.
Tony Stark, Skrull.
No! Well, maybe in Civil War. He was a jerk face in that. But no, the Skrulls are too nice. They're nicer than even that in this. So it's kind of interesting to see that animated series and think that they're bad.
Right.
And then come into this and they're good. It's fascinating.
Right? Boy, is she powerful.
She is powerful. And I can't wait to see that come up against Thanos.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
And I still think Thanos is going to take her out. I think he's going to beat the crap out of her. I mean, you got Thor, and he beat the crap out of him.
Yeah.
But I think together they'll be able to handle Thanos.
Yeah.
Because Thanos is very, very hard to beat. Like, very, very hard to beat.
Even without the stones, right? He's a very powerful dude.
Yeah.
But he's got them. Even if the glove is all burned up, he's still got the stones.
He's still got the stones, and he can just take you away from reality. And technically,
yeah.
He's like, whoop, you're gone. All right, next. She's going to face off against him and get her butt handed to her a little bit. Her humbling moment.
Yep.
You know, and then...
Then she'll look to the team, and the team will rally together, and they will find that way to defeat him.
Although, now I just got a revelation.
Ooh.
Oh. So, in the in-game trailer, they show that part where they're outside the Avengers facility, and it looks like there's somebody missing.
Yes.
I think that's Captain Marvel, because in the in-game, in the post-credit scene, she shows up and says, "Where's Fury?"
And so the question is, when they're all walking out on that grass, then what are they looking up at in the sky? Maybe it's Stark returning.
A lot of people are saying that it may be Stark returning. You know,
I kind of think Captain Marvel's going to bring Stark back with her. No. In the post-credit scene, there was no Stark. She was just back. Crap. How is Stark going to get back?
I think him and Nebula are going to build something. Because it looks like she's using her power on her inside.
And he's creating something. So it'll be fascinating to see how all these pieces fit together with Endgame.
And the 90s nostalgia. Like,
oh my gosh. It took me right back to being in 5th grade in 1995, going to
Internet
Blockbuster
cafes.
Video. Oh, putting in a CD into the CD-ROM and waiting as the blue line slowly loads.
Oh, yeah.
Carol Danvers like, what's it doing? It's loaded.
Loading. He was all chill.
Yes.
Oh, man, it was great.
That was great. So, in the end, you're giving it a solid
B.
and I'm giving it a B+. Is it worth seeing? I think our collective answer is yes. So if you saw this movie, what were your thoughts? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? Let's talk about that in the comments. While you're there, hit the subscribe button to become a Durbanian. Hit the bell by the subscribe button so you're notified for our next movie review, our ranking video, theological analysis, or anything else we do here. I'm Durbin.
I'm the Cholo Nerd.
Thanks for checking out Durbania.